How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at some Sly Cooper. I promised you we're going to look at Sly Cooper at some point, and we're finally getting around to it today. So here we go. As you can see, we've got the first 3 games on the PS2. I'm pretty sure there's a PS Vita version, a PS Vita game as well, and there's also one on the PS3. But because the PS3 emulation isn't amazing, I haven't bothered to test that one today. I know a lot of people just want to see the classics, the PS2 versions. So that's kind of what I'm sticking to. If you wanted to see the PS3 version, I guess I maybe could look at PS3 emulation. It's just, every time I've looked at PS3 emulation, it just hasn't worked as well as I wanted it to. I tried again last night to get Peace Walker working on my device, and it just, for me personally, it runs at too much of a higher wattage. It pretty much is hitting that 24 watt TDP. So you're getting a very small amount of battery life, and at the end of the day, it's, for me anyway, that was Peace Walker. It's like an upscaled PSP game, so I know it has a better control scheme, but for me personally, I'm not really that fussed. The Sly Cooper game might work a lot better though, so we could do to try that out maybe. Let me know if you're interested, but for now, I just wanted to look at the classics on the PS2, similar to the Jak and Daxter and the Ratchet and Clank video that I did. I think Sly Cooper's kind of just been left in the background compared to those two guys. I mean, definitely compared to Ratchet and Clank. It's like, I know Jak and Daxter's pretty similar when it comes to being treated badly by Sony. Kind of forgot about him. Although I did see Spawnwave asking a question on his YouTube today, or yesterday even. He asked like if we're going to see a new Sly Cooper game at some point. And that would be very interesting. And I guess fitting for this video, because if you want to go back and replay the originals, and they don't bring out a HD collection, you can do that on the Steam Deck really well actually. It's running at 50 FPS here, 11 watt TDP, and you're looking at about an hour and a half at 40%. So, I mean, if you do a little bit of maths on that, you're getting a really nice battery life as well. And the game actually looks really nice. It doesn't look dated at all. It has a really nice art style. I'm relatively new to Sly Cooper. I've played the third one, haven't played the first 2. And yeah, I mean, if there's any time I'm going to play them, it'll be now, because I can do stuff like this. We change the controller settings to edit layout, not edit layout, back buttons. And yeah, I feel like this is why I've been playing the PS2 emulator so much. The fact I can just do save states on the fly. So if I press the top back paddle now, it'll save state for me. And yeah, I know I'm a broken record. If you watch all my videos, or if you watch certain videos, you'll know that I've already talked about this. But if I then go and like do something bad, get captured or get caught by an enemy, just press the back left paddle and it'll load me straight back to where we were a second ago. It is very, very good for like PS2 games that have like the ability to save is like not all the time, like in newer titles. Does kind of make games a little bit easier, but it's up to you when you want to use it. You'd have to use it all the time. You could just use it at the start of the level if you wanted to, but it just makes games a lot better, because then I can do stuff like this. If I can save state now, and then I can go to just click exit game. And you're thinking probably if you was going to come back onto this, you'd be like, oh, well, I'd have to go through all the PS2, the splash screens and everything. But if you have the PS2 settings set up properly, like we just did then, the save state stuff, we can just literally, when it's loading in the game, press the load panel, and we're back in. It will disable autosave just because you're messing with the save feature, but you can still manually save. It doesn't actually break your save capabilities in game. Just messes about with autosave because he gets a bit confused. Because technically, when we do a save state, it removes the memory card and puts it back in the software. I really do like how cinematic this looks though. Very cinematic for like an original game. 937. We got any Sly Cooper fans in the comments? Let me know. It looks like an awesome game though. I know it's not a lot, it's not very action based, it's more sneak based, and to be fair, I quite enjoy that because I'm a big Metal Gear fan, as you can see. from the state of my Steam Deck. I've got this camo skin on. But yeah, I do love a good stealth game. Game looks like it has a lot of charm to it as well, the graphics and everything. And just the overall level design looks very like creative and just awesome. It's definitely got that France kind of feeling to it, you know, got that Eiffel Tower in the background.
I haven't seen you since I gave you the slip in Bombay.
Which reminds me, you need to return the Firestone of India to its rightful
Yeah,
owner.
by the looks of it, guys, Sly Cooper, the first game, works perfectly. We are running a PAL emulator here. I've dabbled a bit in using some American emulators, and to be fair, they do run a little bit better. Like, I've changed all my Grand Theft Auto ones to American. It's just some of the more demanding titles require the PAL version because they can run at full speed. It's really just about experimenting on which ones can do that. But yeah, all GTAs are probably better and worth playing on the American version. There's less stutter. So see if you can get the American versions of the GTA ROMs. And I know I keep getting people asking me where to get ROMs from. I can't give you that information. I mean, that's kind of like an illegal thing to talk about, really, isn't it? So the only thing I can say to you is use Google, and you'll find whatever information you want to find out on there. As simple as that. But as you can see, Sly Cooper 1 works perfect. And I'll just do a little save state there. And then I think the game's probably going to save anyway. But yeah, you got some awesome little cutscenes as well. Very cool. Awesome game. We'll move on to the second game. Here we've got Sly Cooper 2. As you can see, running at a little bit of a higher wattage than the first game, all dependent on the area that you're in there at the time. Have got widescreen hacks enabled. If you want to know how to do widescreen hacks, let me know. I'll let you know in the comments. But it's pretty simple. You just got to download a file and drag it into one of your RPCS3 files labeled cheats, and then you've just got to click add widescreen patches. And yeah, it's pretty much as simple as that. I just noticed that I'm getting some pretty annoying... I think the controls are inverted. I wonder if I can change that on here. I can't actually change it. Okay, so this is where we can use the Steam settings. This is quite a good thing to look at, to be fair. So if we go into Steam, change controller settings, and then you find a lot of these PS2 games have inverted camera controls, and that's not the most ideal way of playing. So if you just go to edit layout, and you go to joystick, and then you go to the right joystick, click that little ring there, go to output, and then you can just invert horizontal axis. And yeah, it's as simple as that. It'll save for the game you're playing, but then we have the correct, for me anyway. I mean, to be fair, that needs inverting for me as well. So let's just go back in here, edit layout, and then joysticks, and then just do the same thing but for invert vertical axis. And then we should have, yeah, there we go. Controls are now what I want to see them as. And yeah, Sly Cooper, as you can see, it's using quite a bit more juice than the original game, for sure. A little tiny bit of slowdown there, but it's back up to 50 now. Just keep an eye on the wattage. It could go down or could go up depending on what area of the game we're in. But yeah, as you can see, it's definitely using more juice than that first game. And that's why I'm showing off the PS2 games, because a lot of PS2 games just run differently to each other, and it's worth seeing the performance differences between the two versions or the different games that I'm showing off. Yeah, so you're looking at, it's dropped down to about 12 now, so there's some obviously visual effect going on in that last scene that made everything look a bit, make everything look a bit more extra power needed. But I'm seeing a little bit of blaring effect to the actual gameplay. It's not too bad, but yeah, there must be some like visual effect at play here that they're using in the game. We've dropped down to 10 watt now, so that's more of an acceptable amount for a PS2 game. I feel like when you're hitting like the 20s and stuff, it's obviously playable, but it's just annoying because you're thinking, why is such an old game requiring so much power? But Just depends on what's going on in the background. There could be some visual effect that's really requiring a lot of power. But yeah, I can see like a slight blaring effect to the overall game. I don't know if you guys can tell. Might need to have a look at that in the settings, or there might be a fix for that, but that kind of stamps in the point why we need the new update to Linux as soon as possible, where you can do pair game updates, because, or pair game settings even, because one of these settings might not work perfectly with another game, and just having pair game updates is such a good an idea for a system which requires a lot of games to have individual settings. I was playing Godfather, the first game, on the PS2 emulator yesterday, and it has a very weird visual glitch, like half the screen's a different colour. So you're required to tick something in the emulation settings, and that tick box can mess up a couple of other games. So yeah, that's kind of why we need to see pair game profiles on the PS2 emulator as soon as possible. I mean, hopefully the Windows update will come over to Linux at some point. But yeah, no, this game it does look amazing. Definitely carries over that visual charm from the first one. And as you can see, there's very little to like zero slowdown. Very responsive. No delay I'm seeing from me playing it and pressing the buttons.
I kept it a safe distance.
And there you go, guys. Sly Cooper 2. Also playable. If you're a Sly Cooper fan, you're going to be happy to know that the first two games are extremely playable. And obviously when you get the save state thing set up as well, you'll be able to breeze through the game. Set up that again. So it's annoying that you have to set it up in each game. I've tried to create a custom profile or like a gamepad thing, but for some reason it doesn't ever like have my profile. So it doesn't exactly work for me when I've tried to set up a custom one. But changing it to like F1 and F2 every game is not massively difficult if you're only playing a certain amount of games. It shouldn't take you too long to do. But yeah, we'll move on to Sly Cooper 3. And we're back. As you can see, Sly Cooper 3, all the games pretty much start the same. You're having a conversation with Bentley, I think his name is. And yeah, you're scoping out the area you want to steal from. As you can see, with the rain effects and the lightning and just the view distance, we're hitting around 18 watt a minute. I don't think that this runs at such a high wattage throughout the actual gameplay. It's mainly just in these mini cutscene sections. But now we're in actual gameplay, we'll see. This map, though, might kind of be like kind of a stress test for the system with all the rain and effects and stuff. So it might be a good place to show you to start with. But yeah, as you can see, we've got the annoying problem again with the inverted cutscenes. Reversed? That doesn't sound right. Oh, okay. Apparently reversed is not inverted for this game. But yeah, as you can see, it's going to be a pretty difficult one. This is one of the hardest games I've had to run on the PS2 emulator. So you're not going to be getting the best battery life from this one just because of the effects. Like I say, the levels differentiate between themselves. So like a level with very little visual effects might run at a much lower wattage. You've just got to keep an eye on your wattage. And I know it's a bit of a pain to have that wattage thing up all the time. So I'd probably just get into the game and stop worrying about it. If you're at home, get your battery plugged in. And you shouldn't have any problems because, like I say, it's got fast recharging. And as you can see, the wattage is going down. So it definitely varies depending on where you are in the level. But yeah, as you can see, very responsive again. All these games have been really good for me. and playable. I've seen iFixit are now doing the parts to replace stuff for your Steam Deck. So if you're wanting to get a new fan for your Steam Deck, if you've got one of the loud fans, definitely see if you can order it on iFixit. I know they sold out pretty quickly because everyone's trying to get these new fans, aren't they? But yeah, definitely have a look at that. I was looking at how easy it was to replace the battery yesterday, and it's like one of the hardest things to do in the device, which is a bit annoying. So yeah, definitely take care of your battery, but these lithium batteries nowadays should last you a few years before they need replacing. So yeah, that should be the least of your worries. If you stick around in this video, I may have a special surprise for you at the end. I know I said at the start of the video I wasn't going to test Thieves in time, but I think I might test it, you know. I think I might break my own rules and just give it a little go because, I mean, one, to prove how hard it is to run PS3 games in general, and just I'm intrigued to see if it runs and just how and what kind of wattage. You can see that these games are kind of pushing it a bit, you know, they're going all the way up to 20. So yeah, we'll dive into some Thieves in time once it's made its way onto my device, but these PS3 games take up a lot of storage, so that's kind of why I don't want to show them off too much, because the rest of my device is just full of PS2 games and GameCube games and Wii games, Wii U games. Starting to add PS3 games to that selection, it's like I need to buy myself a terabyte SD card really. And I've noticed the SD card prices in England are a lot more expensive than America. I think the Americans, you can get your 1 terabyte SD card for like £110 or $110 even. And that's like, what, like £90 or like just under £100. For us, it's like £150. So that's like almost $200 for a 1 terabyte SD card. It's a bit shit, but maybe if they do like a mad sale on one, I might pick one up. But at the moment, I'm rocking two 512s. I don't love swapping between them, but at the moment, I'm only playing a few games anyway, so it's really just for storage purposes in case I go anywhere. Oh. We've set off the alarm. I don't know if that was supposed to happen anyway. Looks like it was. Love the way you can just jump and link yourself to the ropes. And these little inputting codes things is really cool as well. Really cinematic, movie style. Nice simple password here. I think that's all we're going to play of number 3, guys. But yeah, stay tuned. Like I said, I'm going to show you some Thieves in Time on the PS3 emulator, and we'll see how well that runs compared. Yeah, stick around. Welcome back, guys. I just thought I'd show off some of my settings for the PS3 emulator before we jump into Thieves in Time, or Thieves of Time, whatever you want to call it. As you can see, they're pretty basic settings. I haven't really changed much about these. This is basically what EmuDeck's set up for me standard. I just got async textures streaming set up as well. Multi-threaded here. Obviously running Vulkan. Disabled anti-aliasing because that can cause some issues where you can get crashes in game. And then pretty much all these are just default. And if we go over to the controller pad section, for some reason the controller pads don't really work all the time. You've got to just fiddle around with them a little bit. Yeah, hopefully that works. We'll find out. But yeah, let's just jump into the game. Like I said, there wasn't much to change, but it's pretty much what default sets up for the PS4 emulator is what I've got it set as at the minute. But yeah. So here we go, guys. I just wanted to show up a first boot of a PS3 game, just so you know how it works and how different it is to launching just a regular PS2 game or just a regular emulator from an older gen. Basically, what it has to do is compile these PPU modules, and this can take a while depending on the game. I'm not 100% sure on how long this is going to take, but I'll keep you informed, and I best plug my Steam Deck in for the time being. As you can see, our PPU modules have finally decided to compile. I don't know if you can hear that, but the fan is kind of going crazy at me. Like I said, these PS3 games do... It might chill out a bit, I'm not sure. I've not played this is all new to me. But yeah, it really depends on what game you're playing, because like I said, I was trying to play the Metal Gear Solid HD collection, and that one struggled for me. As you can see, the intro is lagging a little bit. I don't expect this one to run amazingly. TDP limit's not even on, so it will try and blast it at full pelt. Yeah, this is pretty much why I don't want to really show off PS3 games, because they're not playable. I only really want to show off games that are playable on my YouTube channel, but for the sake of showing it off, I just thought I might as well just get it going and see if we can get it working. It might be a different story in game if we can get it locked to like a 30 and it has a few dips, then that's kind of playable for me. But if it is like chugging away at like 20 FPS, then yeah, I probably wouldn't ever play it on my device personally. So as you can see, it compiles shaders while you're playing. It shouldn't really cause a massive slowdown, it should just do that by itself. But yeah, as you can hear, the fan is definitely a lot louder playing these PS3 titles than it is playing the older stuff. As you can see, it doesn't look terrible at the minute. The cutscene does look relatively smooth, but if you can hear the speaking, not amazing sound quality. It's definitely jumping about all over the place. As you can see, the frame time graph here is definitely spiking. I don't know if I can skip this cutscene just to get into the gameplay. I don't think I can. But yeah, I think we're going to be in gameplay in any second now. But yeah, if you were to just play this and just accept the fact it's not going to run full speed, you're going to be looking at like an hour and a half battery life if you're not playing it on charge. So not massively ideal, but if you're so desperate to play this game, then yeah, as you can see, we're getting some mad chugs going on here. Definitely doesn't feel playable to me. I don't know if this game is supposed to run at 60 natively, but as you can see, it's struggling. Maybe we can cap it at 30. I really don't know if that's going to make a difference. It's got this horrible stutter effect. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, it's just stuttering horribly. Let me know in the comments, guys, if you think there's another setting we can change to make this more playable. Changing it to 30 FPS makes it a little bit better. But yeah, it's not... It does look good, by the way. It looks really nice, running at like native resolution. But yeah, definitely not playable for me. This would just get on my nerves. It's too stuttery for me. Yeah, and obviously you can hear the fans running at full speed. If I just take the charger out, we can then see what wattage we're running at. I'm going to guess it's around 24 or something. It is kind of playable, but I'm a bit of a stickler for FPS, and if it's not like at least locking to its native FPS, then yeah, it doesn't really feel playable to me. TDP's still going up. Yeah, I knew it'd be around 23 watt or something like that. But as you can see, I'm managing to play it. I'll continue to play it. You guys can make your own opinions on it. Sadly, the PS Vita doesn't have an emulator that works amazing, so we can't test the PSV version of it, the PS Vita version out of it, so you're kind of just left with this PS3 version. But yeah, as you can see from me running up this pole here, the stutter is pretty horrible. See the frame time graph all over the place there. Music's not full speed either, which is annoying. But yeah, if you guys are more experienced than me with the PS3 emulator, there might be a setting that I could try and change. But for the average person like me, who's not that keen on the PS3 emulation on this device, yeah, for me it's not something I want to really mess about with that much. I'm more of like a PS2 guy and then obviously a PC gaming guy, so if we can play the PS2 versions of the games, I'm very happy indeed. But yeah guys, as you can see, it's not extremely playable, but I just thought I'd show you it anyway, just show some PS3 out on the system. But hope you enjoyed the video guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. We've nearly hit 4,000 subscribers, thank you so much. Hopefully we can hit 4,000 before the end of the week, and I may have a giveaway coming soon, so just keep checking out the channel, and yeah, thanks for the support. I'll speak to you guys later.